Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I'm trying to take advantage of what little time I've got left. Uh-oh. Losing my posts. Trying to take advantage of what's left of my daylight today to actually prepare for the pigs' next move. So the pigs have actually been in the spot they're in for a little over a week. I like the 2-wire approach as opposed to the trying to use the nets for now. Again, I don't have pig nets, but this has worked really well enough that I don't want to spend the money on the pig nets. So I went today, I got me a few more posts to set up another paddock, and that's what I'm going to do today. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How are we doing? What's up, pigs? You know, that one, that larger black and brown one there, it looks like he's got a mohawk. Yeah, I think you're going to be mohawk. I know I've come up with different stuff, but I think you're going to be mohawk. I know, guys, didn't bring food. Well, he decided the fence wasn't hot enough. And it's low. It's okay. I'm not too awful worried about him going anywhere. That is the nice thing about having this other perimeter fence. You can't exactly just wander off real far. And as you can see, this here is loose, which is my fault. So one of the reasons that I like this is that I was actually able to grab some of the existing posts and move them around a little bit. So in the areas up the hill here where they've done more damage, you can see that I've actually moved the posts in to keep them from completely destroying this area. But in doing so, obviously I've allowed some of it to get loose. So I've got to be a little bit more cautious about that next time. But this is the first time we're doing this, so it is what it is. He didn't like that at all. At least they're still small enough to pick up. Believe it or not, though, I've actually been able to get them to follow me with the feed. So if I just bring a scoop of feed, they'll pretty much follow me anywhere. So I figured it'd be worth showing you guys before I start setting up the next paddock. Just a little bit of the work that they've done so far. No, certainly they've done a good bit of destruction. And even for, you know, Kunekunes who aren't necessarily known for rooting all that much, you know, you can see they've definitely rooted. But this area was majority dirt anyways. And so I originally had them started up a little bit further, and I kind of continued to push them back a little bit and stretch the fence outward. So I could probably leave them in this area, you know, longer. But we're getting some rainy weather, and as busy as things have gotten with our new baby and stuff, I want to make sure that their next paddock's going to be down this hillside here a bit, and I want to make sure that I don't leave them here too long. One of the things that these guys have done quite a bit, I've combed over this area significantly with magnets and stuff, and I still find metal and, you know, nails and screws and things off in here kind of frequently as I continue to find junk all over the property. Something I've also noticed that I had never seen is quite a bit of these pieces of wood that they have also rooted up, and I've not bothered getting these out of here yet, but I will. I found some more nails and screws that they've dug up, some wire, plastic, twine, and zip ties. So I just got to get out here and pick this stuff up. The chickens have decided to make dirt baths or dust baths over here. Something else that I noticed the other day when we had those really high winds is that my fence was leaning over here more than it had been. So there's definitely been some washout down this row, as is evident by the leaning posts and, well, the uneven ground. But if you look down this fence row, you can see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but you can see that these fence posts are leaning out. Well, after that windstorm, they were leaning out quite significantly. So I thought it was finally time to bring some dirt in. So I pushed them back up a little bit, and packed in a little bit of dirt here, but there's a lot of work I need to do in this area. What's up, buddy? He's not looking like much of a kitten anymore, but he still acts like one. This makes me really happy. Are you guys happy? Are you guys happy? All right, the other day, you know, I spooled up 2 rolls on these extension cord reels. So let's see if I got I didn't measure them, just eyeballed the rolls. Let's see if I've got enough on this one to do 2. Just like that, got it all set up. Now, one thing I am maybe a little bit concerned about isn't so much the pigs getting out, but it is the pigs getting comfortable trying to bust through the fence. While the fence is pretty hot, it's not as hot as I'd like it to be, and some of that has gotten better with the grounding, and I think there's just some areas that I don't have set up properly. Like, I feel like some of this wire is heavily grounded due to the grass, and as you saw, I didn't go through and kind of pre-cut anything, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. That is something that I'm a little bit concerned about, but I don't know if it's going to afford me to have to do all the extra work to cut down the grass every time or not. So I think the only thing I got to do to get prepared for their move is get their shelter moved over a little closer to that next paddock. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That way when we get ready to move them, they're already close. Excuse me. They know good and well that I've got the food this time. Show you what I mean by leading them. Maybe. I still need to get them a little bit of water because their dish is empty. I gave them the last little bit about an hour ago. So I'm gonna fill that up for the night, and then I'm also gonna give them a little bit of straw in their new location, and then I gotta collect eggs. I really need to find me a large drum to make a proper water so that I'm not lugging water back constantly. I also know that once they get a little bit bigger, that A, that's not gonna be enough, and B, they'll just dump it anyways. They're already kind of starting to do that a little bit. We're, I think, 2 days after the first part of this video. So we've had both of these paddocks set up together for, actually it might be 3 days. Either way, it's time to get these guys moved. They still seem to be pretty happy, and they're still eating plenty of grass, but it's time to get them over onto fresh green property. So we're gonna head and get these guys moved, but I've got to drop both of these wires. So what I'm gonna do is actually disconnect the jumper on both paddocks and lay the wires flat, and then just drag the pig shelter across, and then I think they'll probably follow me, especially if I come back with a little bit of food. All right, we're back with some food. Let's see if they'll follow me. Come on, guys. All right, gotta get this hot wire back up. Okay, I don't know how much of that was actually caught on camera on the last part, but we got them in. And I got my wire back up and hot. I think I need to tweak it a little bit, but they're in and they followed the food pretty well. A little extra encouragement for the small one. They didn't really want to cross over those wires, so in the future I may have to pick those up and let them go under. But I guess the good news is they respect the wire, so not gonna fight that battle. I guess all that's left is reeling in the old fence, picking up the fence posts, and getting their water moved. So I'm gonna work on that. I feel like all of this trial and error that we've been showing, especially on this little project, is exactly what you'd expect when doing this from scratch and learning from scratch. But anyways, the last thing I've got to do is reel in all of this wire from our first paddock and pick up all the posts, and then we're done. So before I get into the time it took me to tear everything down and put it up, one thing I wanted to note is that the chickens were kind of afraid to cross that yellow wire. Some of them would, and obviously they could jump it, but most of them wouldn't. So I'm hoping now that the pigs are moved and we've got this area cleared, that they'll go in here and start going after the pig manure and all this grass, because this area is already some of the best grass on the property. You know, that didn't necessarily need the disturbance for the pigs, at least not this area out in here. But I'm hoping the the chickens will get in here and start scratching and going at it. As far as the timing on all this, it probably took me about 10 or 15 minutes to pick everything up, get all the wires spooled, all the stakes picked up, and then everything put back in the building. That would be easily 10 minutes or less if you weren't running back and forth to the camera. And especially if you're doing this out further away from your building, you'd probably just stack all that stuff on a four-wheeler or a wheelbarrow or a trailer or whatever, instead of running back and forth. But since I'm this close, I just decided to run the stuff. But anyways, I digress. I think it was about, we'll say 15 minutes to pick everything up. It probably took me 25 minutes to set up the new paddock, and then the actual move was real time. I mean, that probably only took about 5 minutes, and most of that was me running back to the building to get feed to lure them over. All in all, I think this is easily set up, move, and tear down. It's an hour and 20 minutes, and I would expect that to be an hour if you're not running back and forth, if you've got everything kind of sorted. And I plan to try to, you know, get better. I think that as I do this a little bit more, I'll learn some things that make it a little easier, just streamline the process. Well, since it's still a little bit cold and rainy, I'm going to throw a little bit more straw in their pig shelter, just because it is a little bit cooler out. And that'll be it for the day. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.